We're Back at Dinosaur Stories, an animated movie that was made in 1993 and was based off the book by Hudson Talbot of the same name. It was also one of the few movies I have seen that was directed by several different directors, who were Phil Niblick, Simon Wells, Dick Sondag, and Ralph Sondag, and it came out the same year as Jurassic Park. Now, before I get into what I liked and hated about this film, I would like to give you a brief summary on this film. So basically, the film starts off with a kind-hearted inventor named Captain Neweyes, who brings in four dinosaurs: a Tyrannosaurus Rex named Rex, a pterodactyl named Elsa, a Triceratops named Woog, and a Parasaurus named Dwee from the past, and gives them a magical seer called Brain Grain, which causes the four dinosaurs to become smart and have the ability to talk intelligently. Captain Neweyes wanted to fulfill the wishes of all the children in the future by giving them real dinosaurs to talk to, and the four dinosaurs go on a mission to get to the Museum of Natural History in New York City. Along the way, the four dinosaurs meet two young kids, a tough young boy named Louie and a polite young girl named Cecilia, and the two kids accompany the dinosaurs to the museum. Unfortunately, the dinosaurs and the kids meet up with Captain Neweyes' frightening deranged brother, Professor ScrewEyes, who wants to turn the dinosaurs back into their ferocious selves in order to have them perform in his frightening circus. Okay, so here are a few good things about this movie. For one thing, the aspect of this movie that really stood out to me when I was younger was the music by James Horner. James Horner is well known for providing music for most of Steven Spielberg's movies, including An American Tail and Jurassic Park. And the music in this movie was absolutely beautiful and uplifting, and I have always wanted to get the soundtrack for this movie just for the pleasure of listening to James Horner's beautiful music. The animation was definitely beyond its time in this movie, and I love the way that the lights in New York City was animated in a realistic manner, that it made any scene that has New York City's lights in it glow beautifully. I also love the way that the characters were animated, especially the dinosaurs, as they move a bit clumsily, but it was entertaining to watch them move around the places. I also enjoyed listening to the voice actors who provided the voices for the characters, namely John Goodman as Rex and Yeardley Smith as Cecilia. Basically, this movie features an all-star cast, and this is how it is. Yeardley Smith, who voices Cecilia in this movie, also voiced Lisa Simpson from The Simpsons. John Goodman, who voices Rex in this movie, played Dan and Roseanne. Jay Leno, who voices Vorb in this movie, is well known for his own talk show. Julia Child, who voices Dr. Bleem in this movie, is well known for her own cooking shows. So there you have it, an all-star cast that made this movie truly unique to watch. I also love the theme of this movie. This is basically telling the audience that true love and friendship will always conquer fear, and the movie presented this so well. Professor ScrewEyes represents the fear in all children by giving children their worst nightmares, and Captain Neweyes represents the love and joy in children by giving children the things they love. And I love the idea about how both brothers represented these ideas by making inventions that represent what they stand for, as Captain Neweyes makes a dream machine that shows what children love to have, while Professor ScrewEyes makes a machine that shows a child's worst fears. Now, here are some problems I have with this movie. For one thing, even though the movie stresses the theme about how true love can conquer fear, the plot seems a little confusing. For one thing, I know that Captain Neweyes wanted to make children's dreams come true, but why just dreams about dinosaurs? Why not do other dreams that the children mentioned, like having a sibling to be nicer to their other siblings, or giving a child a Thanksgiving hat? Is it because of the success of The Land Before Time and Jurassic Park that this movie has to be about children dreaming about dinosaurs coming to life? It's just that many children dream about various things, and I thought that since Captain Neweyes is a machine that can show them what children want, maybe he could also fulfill the other dreams that the children around the world has, since not all children wanted the dinosaurs to come to life. I've always wondered about if Captain Neweyes wanted the children in the future to see real dinosaurs, why didn't he just bring out all the dinosaurs from the past instead of 4 dinosaurs? But then I guess it would have been too difficult to get so many dinosaurs at the same time, and they might have risked ruining the future because all the dinosaurs would be in the future, and that might ruin the history of the dinosaurs. But that's just outside thinking on my part. Yeah. I know this is a fantasy film, but this was just an issue I had with this movie that got me for a while. Another problem I have with this movie is that I wish they had more character development with all the other characters. Most, especially with Captain Neweyes and Professor ScrewEyes, since I think that they were the most interesting characters in this film, since they created the machines that allow them to see what children want and what children are afraid of. I really wanted to learn more about Captain Neweyes and Professor ScrewEyes' relationship with each other, and how they became so distant from each other than the fact that they had different opinions about what to give out to the children. And I also wanted to know more about their background histories, about themselves, such as how they got into inventing various contraptions and how they came about the ideals that they were planning on pursuing in life, such as Captain U.S. pursuing his dreams to make children happy. I also want to know how Professor ScrewEyes lost his eye and got it replaced by a screw, but I guess I can see why they wouldn't discuss about how Professor ScrewEyes lost his eye, since this is a children's movie, and most small children would be uncomfortable about the idea of losing an eye. Also, what is more perplexing about Professor ScrewEyes' Screw Eye is that somehow it contains magical powers that would hypnotize people, and I wanted to know how Professor ScrewEyes had a screw that has magical powers in the first place. This is another issue I wanted the film to discuss since it's essential to Professor ScrewEyes' character. We're back at Dinosaur Stories rated G, although I must caution children that there are some scary scenes in this movie, mainly during the second half of the film where the dinosaurs and the kids go to a scary circus, and these scenes might cause smaller children to avoid going to any kind of circus for a while. But other than that, this film is pretty tame for the most part. Overall, I give We're Back at Dinosaur Story a 5.5 out of 10 because while I love the animation and the music by James Horner, I felt that the movie would have been much better if the plot had made a bit more sense in driving the point of the story home, and if the characters were developed a bit better. Well, that's my movie review on We're Back at Dinosaur Story, and be sure to tune in next time as I review the animated 80s classic, The Last Unicorn. This is Rabbitearsblog, and I'll see you later. Oh yeah, and one more thing. There was a deleted scene in this movie where Professor ScrewEyes explains about how he lost his eye and why the crows in this movie frightened him so much. But again, that scene was deemed too disturbing for little children, so we were left with a big plot hole involving the loss of one of Professor ScrewEyes' eyes. Well, that's the only extra information I wanted to point out in this movie, so feel free to check out the deleted scene online sometime. See you later, again.